Well, that was one hell of a 48 hours for any football fan around the world. I wasn't going to make this video initially because I wanted this channel to be based purely on tactics. But talking about tactics this week just felt completely wrong. Like, who cares about the 4-3-3 or the 4-4-2 when the whole footballing world was turned upside down? But to my surprise, a lot of fans actually messaged me and asked to hear my thoughts on this. And now, yeah, that's what we're going to cover today. It's going to be a slightly different video. I haven't scripted it, but just my thoughts on the whole last 48 hours in the football world, which were not good. Firstly, let me just say my thoughts on the Super League. I think it was a ridiculous competition. And I generally, even though I did think that they were going to pull it off, I never thought it was going to work. And I knew that the fans would not sign up for this. I knew that the players and the managers would not want this to happen because it goes against everything that everyone has ever stood for in football. The whole point of football is that anyone can beat anyone. What shocked me the most about this whole Super League decision was the fact that they did not consult the players, they did not consult the manager at all. And I think the Super League organisers could have gone about this in such a better way that could potentially have turned a few more heads. I still don't think it would have gone ahead. I still don't think the fans would have allowed it to stand, but I don't think there'd be such a backlash and such anger towards our owners of our clubs. And I'm happy that the English clubs were the first to say, we can't do this. And I think the amount of backlash that all these clubs received, it was inevitable that they had to pull out. There was no way that they could have gone ahead with this because they would have lost all their fans. So I've been a Chelsea fan my whole life, since before the Roman Abramovich era, since before Jose Mourinho, since before all the recent success that we've achieved. I'm not that old, but money was never the reason as to why I started supporting Chelsea, and it's been our family club for generations now. I think as a Chelsea fan, I've always known that the owners of our clubs are not motivated by football and the fans. They are motivated by money. But what we've seen in the past 2 days with the Super League is that they are only motivated by money. They do not care about fans. They do not care about the sport. And all they've ever wanted was more profits, to the extent that they were ready to step over everything that all these clubs had built just so they could profit a bit more. And the past 48 hours, I've never felt the way I have towards my club before. For example, the game we had against Brighton last night, before the news broke out that Chelsea were planning on leaving the Super League, thank God, I literally did not care about the result. If anything, I wanted either the players to not play or Brighton to smash us. I wanted Brighton to beat us because if it was true that we were going to break into this Super League, finishing 4th, finishing 10th, finishing 15th meant nothing. If you don't win the league, nothing changes. You can come 2nd, you can come 17th, you're still going to be in the Super League the next year. And I don't think anyone wanted that, except the owners of these clubs, because they realised that Chelsea-Barcelona brings in more money than Chelsea-Brighton. But that's not the point of football. The point of football is the games against Brighton are so important to the league. In fact, now that we've drawn, because at the end of the day, once we had resigned, I did want to watch Chelsea and I did want to watch Chelsea win. And our performance was not good. But I don't think you can blame the players for our performance not being good with everything that's been surrounding the club and the manager and the players in the past few days. And none of it is their fault. And all our fans' hate towards our clubs was not directed at the players and was not directed at the manager. It was only towards the owners. It was images like seeing Petr Cech in the crowd pleading with Chelsea fans to let the team bus in that just made me feel so angry towards my club that they could do this without consulting anyone. All of a sudden, I felt like I didn't support my team. I didn't recognise the team. I didn't recognise what they wanted and the direction that they wanted to go in, because it was so alienating to every single fan involved. And when Chelsea announced that they wanted to resign, everything changed immediately. And all of a sudden, we were all back in love with our club because we were happy of the decision that they made and that they listened to us. And I think in that moment, every fan across the world realised the amount of power that they have. And all the fan blogs and all the live streams that I've been watching on YouTube, which have been fantastic, realised how much power people have against these owners who know nothing about the history of the sport in this country and in Europe. Now, as I understand it as well, Chelsea weren't the leading force behind this idea of a Super League. They just felt that they didn't want to get left behind, and if they didn't sign up for this and it did go ahead, then the club would potentially lose a lot of money. And in a scenario like that, I do understand where the clubs are coming from. I think that was the same case for Man City and Arsenal and Tottenham as well. I think the leading forces behind this were Man United and Liverpool, which is so surprising because Man United and Liverpool are the two clubs in this country that have the most history and have the biggest rivalry, and entering a competition like that would completely kill this rivalry. And that brings me to today. And the Super League has officially been suspended, not cancelled, which is also questionable. And we're starting to see the backlash that all these clubs quite rightly deserve. I'm not quite sure what the backlash for the other clubs in Europe has been, but for the top six, we've seen that there's going to be a lot of consequences. And I hope, as a fan of a top six club, I do hope that we are punished correctly to stamp down on behaviour like this, that clubs feel like they're better than anyone else in the league and they're motivated solely by money and not fair competition. But I feel like the Premier League and the Champions League and the FA and all these governing bodies need to stamp down on behaviour like this so clubs never feel that they're bigger than the competition that they're playing in. No club is bigger than the Premier League. No club is bigger than the Champions League. And let's be honest as well, during this whole time, UEFA and FIFA seemed like the good guys trying to fight for football. But they are not the good guys. And the reformed Champions League that UEFA has introduced for 2024, arguably to me, is just as bad. My main criticism of the Champions League reform in 2024 is the whole concept of the legacy clubs or the important clubs being able to still qualify for the Champions League. Something like that should never stand, and I hope fans and managers fight back against this idea as well, because it's a similar concept to what the Super League was proposing anyway. And if Chelsea don't qualify for the Champions League, I don't want the owners to be like, but you're a big club, you should probably come play anyway, because we need your money, we need people to watch you play. I don't care. That is completely anti-competitive as well. And if Chelsea come fifth this season to Leicester and West Ham, as much as it will hurt to see West Ham above Chelsea, I praise West Ham because they have been fantastic this season, and I praise Leicester because they have been insane this season as well. And they deserve to be in the Champions League, and we don't. And in 2024, that could change. They could still get their place, but we could still qualify because, you did all right last year. You know, do you want to come? No, I don't want it. If we didn't qualify, don't put us in. And yeah, these are just my thoughts on the Super League. And I must say, I am very happy that the plans have been stopped, at least for now. And I hope that something like this never happens again. And I think because of the way these clubs went about it, some serious changes will come. And potentially a lot of good will come from this situation. We've seen how much praise Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund have received for their 50 plus 1% ownership of clubs. And I feel like an idea like that would be something good for any club in the world, given that it would stop this situation from happening ever again, and it would give the fans so much more voice, so much more power on what is said to their club, because the club belongs to the fans. I know this has been said thousands of times, but without the fans, football is nothing. So I just wanted to share a few thoughts, as a few of you had asked for my opinion, and now I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below if your club was one of these founding members, what you thought of that, and if you think these clubs should be punished for the way they've acted, and what you think a fair punishment would be. Let me know, and thanks for watching.